What's going on, Bills fans? This is Bills Latest. I am your host, Michael Korn. We are brought to you by Fanark. And let's hit some quick injuries quick before we get into this Texans preview. Kincaid, Harmon, and Samuel all ruled out for the Bills. So I'm really hoping that means we see a lot more of Gabe Davis and Shavers. I really am. And I'm hoping we see a lot more of that run game coming up because these injuries, man, we just got to stay healthy. It's getting unreal the way these guys are just falling by the wayside with injuries. But hopefully Kincaid's back sooner than later. Hardman plays one game, bam, hurt. Feels like Samuel's been hurt off and on all year. When he plays, he's not bad. But man, the Bills just can't catch a break with what they need to go their right way right now. And Kincaid's been such a huge part of this offense. That's going to be a big missing piece for them. So we'll see how they work in Knox and Hawes this weekend. But losing those three guys, that's gonna be tough for Buffalo. But they played without Kincaid last week. Hardman was only in there for the first half, I believe. Samuel was in and out. So it's not like they haven't played with these guys before. I just kind of almost hope too, though, this isn't an excuse to suit up Coleman because we need bodies. Because I still think we could get away with sitting him for at least one more game. Let it really sink home. One more game. One more game. But we'll see if those injuries affect this outcome of this game at all. But Texans, man, they have their own injuries as well. Stroud, he's out still under concussion protocol. Mills is 2-0 in replace of him. So they're not bad with Mills in. He's done a good job being a backup in this league. And their defense is pretty good against the pass too. So we'll see with Allen being so successful last week with throwing the ball all over the place. We'll see if that can kind of translate to a better pass defense in the Texans because we haven't been running the ball a lot with Cook. I really think he's still a little banged up, but still, if it's not Cook, it needs to be somebody else running the ball, whether that's Johnson, Davis, whomever. It needs to be done. They need to run the football. But the Texans, their offense is kind of pedestrian. They haven't really been doing much. Nico Collins has been having a subpar year. There's just not much to really worry about on the offensive side of the ball with the Texans. But their defense, they play tough. That secondary's tough. So it's going to be, I would love to see if Gabe Davis or Shavers or whoever, one of these wideouts has a great game this weekend. That's going to be a huge sign for Buffalo because, again, this is one of the better pass defenses in the league. So we'll see what they can kind of put together. But the Texans, it's going to be tough, I think, for the Texans to put up points, especially without Stroud in there. Again, Nico Collins has been quiet. Chubb has been kind of quiet. But again, all these running backs tend to wake up against the Bills, so expect to see a lot of Nick Chubb. But he's been held pretty good this year. He hasn't really had any breakout games, only 4 touchdowns, I think. So we'll see. I don't expect too much from that Texans offense, but you never know. Thursday night games are always weird. Probably going to be, they seem like they're always low scoring, but we'll see. Again, I just don't see much out of this Texans defense. But as far as Buffalo, what they're going to need to do is they have to establish the run early, and then they can get that passing game going. It just seems like Brady is either all in on the run or all in on the pass. Very rarely do we have that healthy balance, and we need that. And I'll keep preaching it. The run helps our defense. Even though our defense is starting to get takeaways, that is huge. But they're so banged up. Any rest is going to be gold for those guys. Absolute gold. And the run game is just going to help our wide receivers. Yes, they had a huge game last game, but that hasn't happened too often this year. So we'll see. It really could just be the addition of Gabe Davis and Shavers, which they didn't have Gabe Davis, but they had Shavers. Why wasn't he given more opportunity? Just because they were forcing Coleman out there. But if the Bills can get the run game going, that's going to open up the play action. That's going to open up those downfield bombs. That's going to allow that Bills offense to fully click and get going. They should absolutely run away with this game. I don't know if they will. They should have ran away with the Dolphins game. This Bills team is always a weird team, man. They always beat the Chiefs in the regular season, at least. But then they lose these weird games. And I feel like this could be a weird game in Houston, Thursday night. Got a lot of injuries. Josh is going to have to get up for this one too. He's going to have to get up for all of them the rest of the year. So we'll see how focused now Brady is with him being rumored for the Penn State job. Which, again, I say go ahead. There are plenty of offensive coordinators that would make Josh Allen great. A lot of them. But they need to just be well-rounded and balanced this week against the Texans. It'll just save bodies. They need to get in and out of Houston as scathe-free as possible and as quick as possible, because they just keep getting hurt. They win by 3 points and come out of there with no injuries. That's like winning by 100 right now for those guys. But I'm expecting to see Gabe Davis be looked at a lot by Josh this week. And I'm hoping that's what Josh has been missing, that guy that he can trust to, if he's got a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 8, that he can hit him on that quick slant, that quick post, whatever it is. Because he hasn't really had that besides really in his tight ends and Shakir. But Shakir's been more just slot stuff, little bubble screens, like hasn't really hit home runs yet this year. So I hope Davis and Shavers can be that guy for Josh. Because, again, if the passing game opens up that much more for those guys, then Cook is going to look even better. Even a unhealthy Cook is going to look so much better. And if they're up at any point in this game, they need to really rest Cook. Just if he's hurt, just rest the guy. Just absolutely rest him. They have other running backs they could use, so they need to use them. But we'll see. This Thursday, the Bills favored by 6 right now. The over-under is 43 and a half. And like I said, I feel like these Thursday games are always low scoring. And the Bills, this is kind of it. I think the Bills were either 6 or 6.5 against the Buccaneers. So, which is kind of wild to me, because I feel like the Buccaneers are such a better team than the Texans. But then again, it being a shorter week in Houston, it's that's why I believe the over-under is the way it is. And they're just always low scoring. But I think Buffalo wins by a couple touchdowns, whether that's 28-14, I don't know. But I think they win by a couple touchdowns because, again, that Texans offense is not great. Not great. Their defense, very good, especially that secondary. But other than that, they're okay. They're okay. And again, without Stroud, you got Mills in there. You're the backup quarterback. The Bills should take care of business, especially if they're serious about a playoff run this year. But we'll see if they do. Again, big game tomorrow night in Houston against the Texans. No Stroud. It's going to be Davis Mills versus Josh Allen. I think the Bills get it done by a couple touchdowns here, but you never know with this team. But that's been Bill's Latest. Again, I am your host, Michael Korn. We are brought to you by FanArc. We hope you hit that like and subscribe button down below. It helps us out tremendously, and we hope you guys enjoy the game and have a blast. Thank you so much.